Diana from Adirondack Girl at Heart. I teach vintage and antique lovers how to create successful antique businesses that they love. I have all kinds of resources on my blog and on Teachable where you can take some of my courses, and I'll link to those down below in the description. But today I want to share some of my recent vintage finds. So the first thing I want to show you is this lens from a camera, and I like to pick up junk like this to create junk angels. So I just wanted to start out today by showing you one of my recent creations. I like to buy these iron trivets that would hold a sad iron to use as skirts, and then these are hinges, and this is a just a really ornate little I think it was part of a cupboard. And so you can see how this lens would make a really great face for a junk angel. And so sometimes you see me picking up weird odds and ends, and a lot of times it's for these junk angels, and they sell pretty well for me. I've sold them on Etsy, and I have them in my antique booth. This one I would price at probably about $55 to $65, and I have a blog post all about making those, and I will link to that in the description as well. Okay, let's take a look at some of my finds. It's hard to know where to start. Okay, let's start with some pottery. This is a Fiesta ware pitcher, kind of art deco style. Definitely a newer one. It has an incised mark on the bottom, which I'm not sure that you'll be able to see. I'll tilt it away from the light there. And it cost $3. I don't typically pick up Fiesta, but this is in perfect condition, and white is such a great color. I mean, this would look really good even in an ironstone cupboard, right? So I'm gonna say $20 to $25 for that. Here's a little restaurant ware creamer. It is Buffalo China. Another, this is an embossed mark. It's a buffalo with China under it, and then USA. This is 50 cents, and these sell for about $8 to $10 from my antique booth. This piece was $1. The local thrift store, Captain's Treasures, had their 50% off household goods recently, and so I picked this one up. Blue and white china still sells pretty well. This is Melody patterned by Myott, M-Y-O-T-T, and it will sell for about $10. I love this little motto ware pitcher. This one says help yourself. This is English pottery motto ware from the south of England, and it will sell. It's in perfect condition, near perfect condition. This is a red pottery, redware that chips very, very easily. You can see on the bottom it says made in England, and it will sell for about $10 to $12. Here's another piece of pottery, a little jar. It's got a mark on an incised mark and a written mark. It is in French. It also has a little writing there, Le Demande, also in French. So I'm gonna call this a French mustard jar, some sort of food, I think, item. It would have had a lid on the top. I just was fascinated by it. It does have a little chip there. It cost $1. I thought it was really beautiful and interesting. I think it could be worth up to $20 or $30 possibly. I will have to research that. Here's an interesting piece, totally. So I'm gonna date this to the late 1800s, and here's a more of a mid-century modern style vase that I just fell in love with it. Love the chunky floral design here, and it is marked on the bottom Japan. It just has a Japan label, so it's not a piece of art pottery, although it looks like art pottery, and it cost me $3.50. I think I will be able to sell this on eBay for $20 to $30, but I may keep it. I'll have to think about that one. Okay, back to England. Talking of England, this is a beautiful little creamware, pearlware, Wedgwood teacup and saucer. I don't buy teacups and saucers because they don't sell well for me, but this one I couldn't resist. It was $1, and it's got this lovely little transferware ribbon pattern, and I am going to write a blog post about transferware, so I thought for $1 I could do that, and I do think it will sell at some point. Back in the day, 20 years ago, it might have sold for $20. I will probably be lucky to get 8 or 10. It's got a nice design on the inside there too. This is just a little cup that I picked up because it's restaurant ware by Buffalo China. There's a different Buffalo China mark there that's just writing. It was 50 cents, and it's very heavy. It's definitely a, you know, ironstone like, although it's a light gray, obviously not a white. I just like the shape, everything about it. Probably $6 or $8. And I could not pass up this bowl either. It's not ironstone, it's a porcelain, but very heavy and would look fantastic in your ironstone collection. Great for serving dip, right? Or having a bowl of cereal. It cost $1 and not worth a huge amount. I am going to keep this piece for a while. And then the last ceramic I have, which is actually more like plaster of Paris, just this little angel. I'm gonna paint it gold or black, I think, and use it perhaps on a sign, something like that. He was 50 cents. How about a couple of wooden things? Really cute folk art boot. Not super old. It's 1941, signed on the bottom. I paid $2 for it. I love folk art. I love buying and selling folk art. I think I will put this on Etsy and list it in the $30 to $35 range. At the repeat of the barn sale from a few weeks ago, we went back, the house was open. I picked up this antique frame with this beautiful antique spongeware work on it. These used to sell for really great money, again, back in the day. Here's a look at the back so you can see the oxidized wood there, how dark it is. This is from the late 1800s, and someone put a modern colored pencil drawing in there. I'm just going to take the whole thing out and either sell it as a frame in the $20 to $25 range, or I might put a mirror in there and then sell it in the $35 to $40 range. This tray is also from that barn sale. It was $1. It's going to clean up really nicely with a little bit of wax, and I will sell that for $18 to $22. So I picked up recently quite a lot of books, and so I thought I would go through some of them right now. Here's a French dictionary. I like to pick up red books and stack them in my antique booth so that I can put antiques on top of them, right? Display them that way. I like to get them for 50 cents to $1, no more. And I did pay $1 for that one. Here's two more red bonded leather two little Shakespearean plays, As You Like It and Twelfth Night. And I may list these on Etsy in the $10 to $12 range, or I might just put them in my booth. And here's, I picked this up. I saw the Herman Melville and I just thought, oh, that's Moby Dick, but it's not. It's Omu. I have no idea what that is. A lesser known Herman Melville. But again, color, I like to pick up red books, you know, books with red bindings, blue, green, black, that sort of thing, and stack them up. And I would probably, if this had been Moby Dick, I would put like $8 on it. Because it's not, it will probably be more like $4. Here's another black. This one is Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, and it is bonded leather. And I will put, like I said, $12 to $15 on that. Here's a green book, but it's Fresh Fields by Burroughs, who is a well-known environmentalist, conservationist, especially in the Catskill Mountains. And I will put $10 on that one. And here is The Life and Writings of Abraham Lincoln. Any books about Abraham Lincoln sell really well. This is part of a modern library series though, so that makes it a little bit less interesting for some people, but really nice shape, great looking binding, $10 to $12. The Colonial Furniture in America, such an interesting looking book with these great illustrations. It's from the early 1900s, I believe. I picked it up at the barn sale for $1. There's the front cover, the front, you know, the front page. Just a great look. It's got really great, yeah, 1901 actually. So this is probably less valuable than you might think, but I would hope to get something around $20 for that. And then, like I said, I love folk art, and so I picked up this book, American Folk Art, for $1 also. Love that cover. Can't wait to look through that. I do have a blog post about how to clean vintage and antique books, and I will link to that. And here's a little booklet on handwriting. And people do love these for, well, just for the aesthetic, just for the typography, but also for mixed media art projects. So this was 50 cents. Hope to sell that for $10 to $12. Let's look at some farmhouse things now. Here is a really sweet little ash splint basket. Not super old. I am going to say the 50s probably, and I paid $1 for it. I think it's worth about probably 18, something like that. $18 for that. Cute little basket. Here's a piece of, and I do have a price guide on my blog for baskets. I'll link to that. Also a little gray granite ware, enamel ware strainer. Paid $1 for that piece, and I will price it at $12 to $15. Have a whole article about that, about enamelware on my blog, along with a price guide. Same for canning jars, article and a price guide about canning jars. I have not had a pint-size Atlas strong shoulder, so I was happy to buy this one for $2. Aqua glass, I have extra lids, and it would be worth about $12, but I probably will keep it because I just love this size. Another canning jar. This was a new to me name. It Lure something. Lure Super. Lure Parfait. I think that's what it says. there. I don't know if you can see it. So I guess that's French, le parfait. Something like that, parfait. Maybe it had pudding in it, I'm not sure. I like to pick up new ones to add to my articles about canning jars. I paid $1 for that one. I'm guessing worth about 10 to 12. Another little jar that I picked up, a Watkins. Watkins makes all kinds of baking extracts and things like that. So I thought that was cool because it does date back to the 1800s. That was $1. Two little ink wells, $1 each, worth probably 10 to 12. A cheese crock. I love these cheese crocks. It was $2 and it will sell, oh, it was half price. So it was $1 and it will sell for 10. I love to pick up folding rulers because you can make them into star shapes, and I think they look great in an antique booth. These cost $1 each and they sell for $12 from my antique booth. Also at Christmas time, I will decorate them with a small wreath and sell them at the craft show that I do every Christmas, and they sell for $15. Picked up this Watt bowl with a hand-painted apple on the front. That's very recognizable as Watt. It was $2. It's not in perfect shape. On the bottom, it's incised. You see it says Watt ovenware and the number 6, and that would refer to the size. There would have been a set of these. So like I said, it's not in perfect condition, but for $2, it will sell probably for about 10. And I just like the way it looks in my booth. I think it makes my Farmhouse booth look really good. This is a white glass Westinghouse, I believe. It's got a W on the bottom, an embossed W. Probably came with one of those, blender, like the KitchenAid blenders, only Westinghouse. That's what I'm guessing. It should sell for about $12. Screwdriver for 50 cents. Nice old one. I'll clean that up and wax it. It will sell for $8, $8 to $10. This is one of my favorite finds. This is from the barn sale. It's a little French watercolor set. Look at that. Isn't that great, that typography? And then there's a little set of colors there that they painted, and then it opens like this, and inside are the paints. I'm going to tidy those up a little bit. This was $5 and I'm hoping to get $30 to $35 for that. Really like it. And I picked up 3 spools. This is the American Thread Company. I always buy them because look at that typography and that star. Just really great. And that was 50 cents. And this is 50 cents because this is a new company to me. It's called Woolco. And I do have a blog post all about vintage thread. And so those will be added to it. And then look at this spool of wire. The wire itself is great, so useful, but on like a mercantile spool almost. It probably was a part of something, a dowel that held it in place so that then you could just pull the wire off. That's what I'm thinking. I paid $1 for it. If I were going to sell it, I would put $25 to $30 on it. That's what I would do. And a little milk glass jar. Ponds. I've owned many milk glass jars. I often put bottle brush trees in them and sell them at Christmas time, but I've never had one that actually said ponds, even though I knew they were ponds. You see that there? Ponds. That was $1. Okay, so we're down to the last few items. Here's a sign that I picked up at an estate sale. Any parking, any traffic signs sell really, really well. This one is not in perfect shape. It's got a little bit of a bend right here in it, but it was $5 and I think it will sell for about 20. And at the barn sale, there was an artist, a series of family artists actually, who had a studio out in the barn, and there was a lot of art supplies, a lot of art for sale. I picked up a few things first time around, and then second time around I found this piece which just makes me think of Cezanne, and I loved it. It was $1. They charged me $1 for that. And in the right frame, I think it will be fantastic. Hopefully in the $35 to $40 range for sale. This is from an estate sale. This is a Bessie P's Good Swan, well-known illustrator from the turn of the century. A lot of glare there, sorry. Isn't that just the sweetest? These are not hugely saleable right now, but it was $1 and it will look cute in my booth. I will probably price it at $20 just to make sure that it moves out. And we're back to the barn sale now. I thought that was a great still life painting. They charged me $3.50 for that, and I will price it at maybe 50 or 60. I think it's really well executed, and I don't hate the frame. And the last piece, this really and truly is my favorite. I am hoping that I have the correct frame for this somewhere. It is a standard size. It's oil on board, on a canvas board, and they charged me $3.50 for it, $3.50. And in this current form, without a frame, I would price it at probably $50 or $60, and then with the correct frame, upwards of $100. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you love it as much as I do? I hope that you enjoyed seeing my finds today, that you will give me a thumbs up, that you'll subscribe or leave a comment. That would be awesome. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see you over in my blog or in one of my courses. And I'm gonna say goodbye now and happy hunting as always.